So it has been, I'm going to say, roughly 1 month since I was able to work on this. And the reason for that is work, stuff like that. Mostly just work. And the Buick. The Oldsmobile. That took up a lot of time that I was not expecting to take up. And yeah, mostly just work. So this thing's kind of been neglected for the last month. Where I left off was finishing up the cage. Now, because it's been here and it's been in the air for so long, and then it came down, my buddies have been over, they've installed a Monster can into the header. Now, that's not the Monster I drink the White Monster, so any of you guys see me in public and want to give me a gift, I do enjoy White Monsters, and I can drink about 6 to 20 a day, so I'll be fine, no matter how many you give me. But, my goal for today is to remove this can without touching it. That means I want this car to start. And we're a bit away from that. But you know what? You guys got to set goals and achieve them. And this is my goal, is to have this car running today, I guess. So what do we have to do to make this thing run? Let's find out. So as it sits right now, we have motor mount in. We have alternator belt on, which is nice. We got shifter on, but none of that really makes it start. We do not have power going to it. We do not have negative going to it. Nothing's been grounded, so we got to do that. What else do we need? We need a fuel tank. Need a battery. Need a computer. Need a harness. Need all the wiring figured out. And with all that, I think it might run. Throttle cable definitely doesn't look hooked up. So we can't kick that can out until we have the throttle cable hooked up. So there's quite a bit of things to do to this car to make it run. Oh look, there's all my hammers. They're behind the seat. So let's get going on this. We got a lot of work to do tonight. I got to be at work tomorrow morning, so figured I got a fire going. Might as well work on the car until it gets cold, or I get cold, or I just give up. Let's get this thing trying to start. Well, that didn't really take us that long. We got the fuel cable hooked up. We got all the toggle switches wired in. Turn these ones off because they're not doing anything. We have the fuel pump in there. Now, I don't know if that's the tank I'm going to use or not. But you know what? It might be. So that will sit there. We got a battery in. This is definitely not the battery I'm going to use. This thing doesn't hold a great charge. I mostly have this on my solar panel charging every day, and then I use it as a booster pack, kind of just carry it out, boost stuff. So that's what it's doing. I got the main positive to the starter, and then right here is for my alternator, fuel pump, and computer, and they're all just hooked up to those toggle switches there. I got the car in park, but unfortunately, turn you guys right upside down, we're missing the standalone harness. Now I don't have one built for this car yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and just take it out of a different car, bring a pair of wire cutters to cut some zip ties, and yeah, just grab one basically. And with that, I think this car will start up, and honestly, this hasn't taken a whole lot of time. Pretty much just plug and play. That's why I love Toyotas so much. Everything is just plug in and play, but we are very close to shooting that can out the header. It's been quite some time since we've ran this car, so before we start it and shoot that can, we're going to check for oil. It's not something I normally do, but it's something I should be doing. So let's go outside, get a harness, and then we'll come back, plug the harness in, check oil, and everything looks good. We'll try to fire this thing up. I'm excited. Well, I'm back, and guess what? The harness came out of that Camry outside like butter. Everything on Toyotas is easy. I used to run a lot of GMs, and I found a lot of the GMs would break bolts. They'll hold the seats in, motor mounts, they'd break bolts everywhere. Toyotas almost never break bolts. So, excuse me. We're going to take the harness, we're going to plug it in. You guys have seen me plug in harnesses 100 times. Most of you guys that watch actually have all your own harnesses now because of my videos to show you step by step how to make them. So that's great. All we're going to do is connect the positive, and then we got to drill for the negative. It's a little rusty. Maybe I should cut those wires a little bit shorter to get the rusted copper out of there, corroded. Sorry, copper doesn't rust. Connect to negative. Okay, are you guys... Where's my starter? Where's my starter wire? You're on it. Oh, we got a fuel leak. Pretty big fuel leak. Let's go take a look at that fuel leak. Okay, fuel leak is fixed, but fuel tank's covered in fuel. So that's par for the course. Let's turn on the pump. Double check. No leaks. Might as well turn the alternator on because we're here. And computer. Okay, let's see if we can make this can fly out. You ready? Gonna jump the starter. Actually, I don't have to. I got a wire. You ready? It did fly out of there, but it didn't start right up. Kind of hoping that thing would start right up. Let's jam that can back in there and see if she starts right up. I'll give it a little bit of fuel this time. You can just hear that fuel pump screaming for dear life. It just clued into me that I didn't check this thing for oil. But you know, the sparks don't jump. Okay, so... Oh yeah, there's oil in there. I don't know how much, but good enough for me. So in a matter of an hour, this car has been from no computer to full computer in it, fuel lines, pressure in it, started up for the first time since Grand Valley, which... What? Was the end of September? End of September, and now we are February. So, pretty much started up right away, and the best part is, that monster can went flying away. So thanks for watching. You know, we're starting to make a whole bunch more progress on this. We're going to have to do a lot more to this car. This car is just mostly set up to get it running right now. We have to put the proper battery into it, make sure all the electrical is done correctly. Strap down the gas tank. There's still a lot of work to do in the back end of this. All the doors still open in this thing. There is a lot of work. Don't even have a bumper on the front of it. So plenty more work to do. So let's get at her. And but But that's going to be the end of today's video. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.